What's up with y'all? What's good with y'all? How y'all doing? Bear with me. It's been a long day, but I got around to this Tory Lanez album, the new Toronto 3. So, quick start is, me personally, I'm not that much of a Tory fan. It's not that I don't like his music, it's just he's never really been one to check out. So, I did the knowledge a little bit, listen to some older stuff, to get an idea of who he was as an artist. I've always heard most of his radio singles, and I usually like the radio cuts that he puts out. So I figured I'd sit through the new Toronto 3. And I gotta say, it's a solid record. Truthfully. It's about 16 tracks. Excuse me, man. It's about 16 tracks. We got 16 tracks, 40 something minutes, and it doesn't drag. You know what I'm saying? You know how some albums, because 40 minutes is a long, so some albums, 40 minutes feels like forever, but for some albums, 40 minutes is like, oh, okay, that was quick. Even the longer records can keep you invested enough for you to be like, oh, okay, I see what we're working with here. All right, I like it. He mixes the record up with a bunch of rap cuts, you know what I'm saying, like trap influenced bangers and all that, with a couple R&B ballads here and there, where he just kind of gets his singing on. The first half of the album is weaker compared to the second half of the album to me. So Peep, the first song on the album is called Pricey and Dicey. I'm sorry, Pricey and Spicy. It's not the best song on the record, but as an intro, it's explosive. It gets you in. It's followed by the Coldest Playboy. I personally didn't care that much for the song. It's not forgettable. It's just like, okay, it's one of those records that you're supposed to knock your head to. You know what I'm saying? But it's there. But then Stupid Again is where it turns up on the record. That's actually one of my more favorite tracks off the album. Stupid Again. He goes, I'm not gonna say the lines here, because I'm gonna let y'all find out for yourself, but he says something like, he says this little skit in the middle of it. I'm gonna find it for y'all. I'm gonna see if I can get your Photoshop right here. So I'm not even gonna say that shit. But then it gets actually no, it's followed by 10 Fucks. That's the name of the song, and don't be mad at me. 10 Fucks. A nice quick little love ballad type song, where it's kind of like, damn, you do me like that? I'm not going. It's in the same vein as like. Actually, no, it's not. I was gonna say it's in the same vein as a Future song. What the fuck it is? No, it is not. Because I'm not even gonna compare Tory and Future. That's a different video, if that's even a video. You know what I mean? But it's got that damn shorty, you gonna do me like that? This cold type feel to it. You know what I mean? But then it's followed by Dope Boy's Diary, and to be preceded by like 4 tracks that are basically braggadocious tracks and bangers, it kinda came out of nowhere. Like the transition to the song was like, okay, I guess that's what we doing now. And then it's followed by Accidents Happen, which kind of brings it back, but then it's followed by, hold on, let me see what it's followed by. I got the track list right here. And it's followed by Broken a Minute, so it gets back on track to like having these bangers. But then it's followed by I'm gonna call it Pain, but he's probably calling it Pain. And I really don't remember like nothing from that song particularly. Like I remember him singing and crooning, but I don't really remember a bar from the song. That's another thing with this record. He's got a couple bars all around the project that's like, really, nigga? Alright, bro. But he does pretty good on the instrumentals, and that's what keeps you locked in, for real. But then after Pain, it's dead ass, like a 6-song stretch from like Adidas, Who Needs Love, Do the Most, Penthouse Red, Letter to the City, Back in Business. He was in his bag. Like, nigga was in his bag, honestly. Because on Adidas, he starts rapping about his past, how he grew up, losing his people to the streets, I love that kind of rap, honestly. Because who doesn't like that rags to riches type rap, you know what I mean? And then It's all about who needs love. He does his little singing thing, but it's not too much. It's not overbearing. It's real in depth on the record. It's followed by Do the Most, Penthouse Red. You start getting your love ballads. He's still balancing the rapping and the singing or whatever. Letter to the City 2. This is when he goes back to strictly rapping. And he addresses his issues with the label. The fact that this is being his last record for Interscope. This has been his last record for Interscope. And he can go on and be free to do other things that he wants. Because he even said, that's why I'm not too harsh on the project. Because he even said before that he's only really been going 60%. Which I, as a musician, so when you're trapped in the deal, I get it. But as a fan of music, I'm like, it's kind of a dick move, but I get it. You don't want the label to have your best shit. That way, I don't know. You just don't want the label to have your best shit. That way they own your masters to your best shit. So I get it. D&D, I really don't remember that song for real. Like, that's the penultimate song. And then there's the album closer, Message for God's Children. As a closer on the album, it's solid. It just felt a little bit out of place, but as an album closer, it was a solid record. So overall, this Tory record, I'd recommend it. I'd recommend checking it out and giving it a spin or two. But personally, once you finish listening to what you like, you'll probably only come away with a couple songs in mind. It's not a bad project. It's just loosely related in terms of themes. But sonically, it's a solid soundscape. It's got bangers, it's got beats that's gonna hit your ear nice. But some of the songs are just dead. But for a good chunk of them, Tory be hitting on them. So I appreciate your time. This is Amiri J.
Let that liquid drink propel it. Roll that switch is sweet. Now pass me all that watermelon. Feel that THC. Cruising, let that liquid drink propel it.